Okay, this took me about, I would say about 40 minutes, but I wasn't really rushing. So I have some posts, and this is not it. This is just something that I put in, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to have maybe six plus topics on under each theme just to kind of keep going. And also I wanted to show you what I'm doing. So let's have a look at this. So I have Find Your Voice Monday, Ask for Help Tuesday, I have Soul Talk Wednesday, I have Authority Building Thursday, Feedback Friday. I've changed self promotion Saturday to Entrepreneur Saturday. I want to kind of, because I want to attract entrepreneurs versus people who identify or self-identify as business owners, because entrepreneurs are usually someone who is pushing themselves more and growing, and those are the people I want to work with. And I want people to be driven. I don't want to persuade them, or that I need to drag them. I want to hold the hand of a person who is ready and driven. And I have, of course, the Hangout, Gifts, Selfies Sunday. And these are the posts you can see at a glance that I kind of created for this. And I'm going to just continue building on these posts until I have something like maybe 20 topics under each post. Some of the posts you might not need to have 20. So for example, Authority Building Thursday, I absolutely don't need to have 20 different topics on that, because I'm asking them to share the latest live video, storytelling post, or anything. I'm just going to give this topics to share. And I also want to maybe bring back the expert highlight series that I've had before as well, where some group members would come in and do a training for us, which I think is a great thing to do as well. And I can do that once a month. It doesn't have to be every week. So this is something that I don't have to really expand on. I'm definitely going to expand on things like Find Your Voice Monday, which is talking about branding and talking about values and talking about. So I want my members to talk about things that then they can bring into their content. So it is on my behalf. It's still coaching, it's still training, it's still leading them into where they want to be. And for my members, it's also a way of sharing and talking about themselves, which they love most, right? So, or their business, and this is part of their business. So I'm going to definitely do more questions on this. Find Your Voice Monday, Ask for Help Tuesday. I may or may not add to this, because I just decided, I'm going to ask particular questions. Specific questions are great, because when you ask something generic, it's less, people react less than if it's something really super specific. So, this is where I'm going to just have a look. I'm going to go through all the questions that people answer when they join my group, and I'm going to draw inspiration there as well from what they're saying, what other questions they could have based on those answers. So I will add this later, but even to start with, this is really enough. Soul Talk Wednesday. Again, I'm going to just talk about generally. I want to just chat. Sometimes even when we are in work, right? We're working with people, and I don't know about you, but every coaching call I have, I will spend extra of my time, just to connect to people and talk about things that we share, right? So this is, and sometimes it happens inside the call, but then I will always go over, just to make sure, because connection is so important. Feeling that you're working with somebody who you're completely connected on so many levels, that is where the key is to feeling fulfilled working with them, right? So this is where I'm going to definitely come up with new things, and I'm going to be expanding this part. Authority building I already covered. Feedback Friday is another one that I may or may not add too much, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for feedback, I'm looking for questions. So again, I'm going to have some of the what questions you have, but it's going to be more about what questions do you have about your Facebook profile, what questions do you have about your Facebook group. I'm probably going to revisit the topics and modules I have in my Fearless Client Attraction Academy. So I make sure, for example, what questions do you have about running a show? Because I have a whole module, and my call to action then I can do a Q&A and answering these questions at the end of that day. And I can also then promote my academy, because I'm going to be talking about one of the modules really essentially. So this is something, again, I will ask people if they want me to audit the profile. Usually this is a very popular post for me. That's where I get to share my expertises and share a screen and show exactly what needs to be done. And that's really, really popular for me. Anything in your business, if you are working with technology or any kind of thing that you can share your screen and show people what you're doing, is really, really popular as a live stream, and easy to do, because you don't have to even be on video, right? But I do have to say that when you put yourself in a little kind of corner, if you're using Loom or if you're using, I'm using Ecamm, and I can have that picture-in-picture mode with a little face, it always works better for connections. So don't shy away from that. So this is my Feedback Friday. Entrepreneur Sunday is going to be all about sharing. So share your website. Then another one, I want to make friends, because I'm talking a lot about befriending people and talking to people. So I want people in my group as well to friend each other. Describe who is it for and share your group. I'm going to reword this, because some of these, this is a brain dump exercise, so you don't need to be perfect. You just need to get it out of your mind. So this is what I was doing. Let's follow each other, share your Facebook page. I decided, even though I have this Instagram account, I actually don't know if I'm going to continue this or not, or if I'm just going to maybe create 8 posts or 12 posts, but I don't know if I want to take them out of, let me just see, let's just delete it for the moment. I don't want to take them off subject, right? Because my subject is Facebook. I also can really talk about, the website. I said, so the website, maybe if they have any platforms like medium.com where they are, but that's a little bit complicated, and I already have that in where I'm asking them to share their latest article and things like that. So this is only to get me started. I have definitely enough to get me started. Remember, each one of these only needs to be used once a week, and then you can recycle this, So, and the last one, Sunday, is completely hangout, but I want to have GIFs and I want to have selfies. So far, I kind of asked all the post the picture. I actually even forgot about the GIFs, but I can add a couple of more things that I normally do about GIFs. And that's now I have my content strategy for my Facebook group, right? So for example, if I had 12 of each posts, and as I said, some of them don't need that, because if they're about people sharing something like live video, storytelling posts, I don't need to be changing them too much. But if I had 12 each, that's 12 weeks, that's 3 months, 90 days of my Facebook group post strategy covered, right? And after 90 days, I can see how it's going, and if that actually really works for my audience and I see that the group is still engaged, I'm just going to recycle it all and go just again and recycle. Nobody will even notice, because there's just so much going on. And then also people don't tend to be too active for a long time in one place. I noticed that after about 3 months, sometimes 6 months, but usually 3 month cycle, that's enough for them to either get converted, when they're active into your funnels, and then they will be active anyway, because they're also your paid customers. They're probably in your bought something from you or your clients or something, and people, when they're engaging with you as customers, they often engage with your posts so much more than before the transaction. That's just the truth. That's why we should keep going, and remember that there's a lot of people who may be just watching you, but they can still become your customers, right? So and then after that, what I'm going to do, the next step in the next video, I'm actually going to spend time creating a graphic for each post. So each of these posts will need a kind of template. I'm going to use canva.com. I'm going to show you how I'm creating it. And I'm going to save them in different ways, because on Canva, especially recently, it's really, really cool. You can create a graphic, but then you can create and save it as a GIF, or you can save it as a little video. So it's more interactive, and it's really, really super cool, because it adds that movement to the posts in your group. And that's what you want. You want showstoppers, and showstoppers sometimes is just a little movement. That's what breaks interrupts the pattern. That's why it's called pattern interrupt. Something just stands out a little bit more. So it's going to take much, much more than, for all these posts, for me to create posts. I'm going to create maybe two posts each for now, and that's something that I can already schedule to go into my group, and then I can work on this. So when you're working on this content strategy, this probably will take you an hour to come to this stage, and you already will be on the roll. You will find, as soon as you start working on this, there's so many ideas just pop into your head, and then the next step in this strategy is to create first minimum amount of graphics. So you have your templates, save them as templates, and then just go and create, change those templates according to these, and just do maybe 2 each. I'm going to show you in the next video exactly how I create them, and then in the next training probably how I add them here, so then everything is saved. So whatever time you're spending on creating these images, you can get your VA to create the images. It doesn't have to be your time, but if you have them, you will be able to reuse them again and again and again.